Welcome to another episode of the DJ Jericho Podcast. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like button, and notification bell. This is a podcast where I talk about entertainment news, world news, and gossip from the urban world, y'all. So if you guys like that, make sure you guys hit that sub button and comment below. All right, y'all. So let's get just straight to it. I know it's been a minute, so let's get straight to it. So looks as if Dr. Dre will be paying $3.5 million to his ex-wife, Nicole Young, y'all. Now, allegedly, it's been reported that after a hearing this past week, it was agreed upon that Dr. Dre would pay a whopping $290,000 a month to his current and soon-to-be ex-wife, Nicole Young, and that's equating to $3.5 million. Now, the couple was married back in the late 90s. They've been married for the past 20-some-odd years, and last year, Dr. Dre and Nicole decided to move forward with the divorce, After a lot of speculation and alleged drama going on between the two, they decided to part ways, and, of course, it's been highly publicized because, of course, Dr. Dre had an aneurysm, allegedly, and, of course, that was all over social media. Along with that, Dr. Dre and April Jones from Love and Hip Hop was spotted out on a dinner date, which made everybody think that they were possibly having relations, allegedly. And, it's just been highly publicized. And now people are saying that Dr. Dre is still currently, possibly still dating April Jones. And for you guys who do not know who April Jones is, she's a reality TV star. She used to be in a relationship with Marion, and she actually dated his friend Little Fizz, which caused a lot of drama and everything else. But now allegedly she's talking to Dr. Dre, which is like, cha-ching, jackpot, girl, do what you got to do. That's all I can say about that. But they supposed to be allegedly dating, and now that this divorce is basically settled, it says that as of August 1st, allegedly Dr. Dre will be paying $293 to his ex-wife, Nicole, and he will be doing so for the next 12 months, which equals a whopping $3.5 million, So, I don't know. A lot of people are mad on social media based off the settlement. A lot of people was talking about this is why people don't want to get married. Men, and particularly like black men, of course, because this is an urban report. A lot of black men was in the comments on different social media sites like the Shade Room and Love Be Scott and everything else, basically saying why this is why black men shouldn't get married, all these different things. And I was just like flabbergasted and laughing because it's like most of you guys don't even have not even probably 1% of the amount of money Dr. Dre has to divide amongst himself and his ex-wife. Do Dr. Dre really care about that money? Dr. Dre is like worth $1 billion by now because, of course, he has like a 40-year long catalog from his music and productions. And along with that we know of, we also know that he owns Beats by Dre, which is like basically bringing it damn near almost $1 billion. So he is worth a lot of money. So really, if you really do the calculations based off of how much he brings in and how much they're asking for them to pay him to pay her, that's really like taxes and chump change. It really is. And it's just funny when I be seeing people on social media talking about this is why it's not beneficial to get married, this, and this. Y'all don't know what type of work his wife was putting in behind the scenes. Y'all don't know what ideas she was forwarding into her husband. Along with that, his wife was also an attorney as well. So it's a possibility that she was making a lot of contributions, verbally, maybe passing ideas to him. You never really know. So I really don't feel like it's a big deal that he has to pay that amount of money because honestly, what is $3.5 million a year to a billionaire? That's probably how much he has to pay in taxes a year. So this is supposed to be spousal support. Most people say that spousal support, for the most part, lasts until the next party gets married. So as long as she does not get married, she'll be able to live scot-free off of this income by Dr. Dre. Now, you may feel however you want to feel about it. I want to know what y'all guys think about that whole situation. Do you guys feel like she should get a payout for being with him this long? There was a lot of allegations going on in regards to why they broken up. Of course, people were saying things about Dr. Dre allegedly maybe being abusive and cheating and stuff like that. This is the same scenario that most relationships end on, especially when it's a high-powered celebrity couple. There's always alleged allegations of cheating and beating and drugs and just a bunch of drama. So, it's pretty interesting to see that. But y'all tell me what y'all think about that, and then let's talk further about Kanye West. So Kanye West got a new album coming out, and he introduced it to us through an ad. Now let's just talk about this for a second, because Kanye West, Dr. Dre, Beats by Dre came together to create an endorsement deal in a commercial for Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, we all know, of course, us from the Black community know the entire situation with Sha'Carri Richardson. And if you are basically living under a rock and don't know, that's what I'm here for, right? Because I'm your media source. Now, Sha'Carri Richardson is a 21-year-old track star, okay? She a runner. She a track star, okay? She had basically beat the world record when it came to like the track Olympics trials, and she beat everybody. She was first place, and she was definitely going for gold. It was basically saying that she was like the second fastest woman in the world, and a lot of people was comparing her to Flojo. Now, unfortunately, they did a random drug test on her, and it came back that she tested positive for marijuana, cannabis, may have you, okay? And from that, the Olympic Committee decided to basically eliminate her from the Olympic trials. Along with that, they also stated that a lot of people thought that she was going to be able to come back to do at least the relay race, but they just completely suspended her for the entirety of this 2021 Olympic season, okay? And now a lot of people on social media was upset, and they felt like she should have been able to still run. And unfortunately, she broke rules. And I already said what my opinion was on that on my last podcast. Is, the rules are the rules. If you break the rules, things will happen. But I do feel like, of course, she was targeted because, she is Black, okay? And she's breaking records that most people in the Tokyo Olympics and anybody in the world would not want a Black woman to accomplish, okay? Especially with her being real Black, you know what I'm saying? Like, she had the good, the colorful hair, the nails. She was definitely channeling Flojo. It's just something that, a lot of people in the mainstream just can't deal with the fabulousness of what this girl is bringing, and unfortunately, when you have that opportunity on the table, you have to be very, very vigilant, very careful, and cross all the T's and dot all the I's, okay? Now, I feel bad for her because, unfortunately, her mother, her biological mother, passed away the same week she had to go on the track and do her Olympic trials race for her to go to the Olympics. And she won the Olympic trials race so she can go to the Olympics, but she was basically saying, the reason why she tested positive is because she was smoking the marijuana, because she was sad and, distraught because her mother passed. And, that is a serious type of hurt that no one in the world, should have to experience. But a lot of people, unfortunately, that I know have experienced that. And it's just so sad for anybody to lose a parent, especially their mother, and something, that maybe it may have made her not think too straight. Who was really thinking about a gold medal when you have to bury a parent, but she took full accountability. She was on the news and she took full accountability for her actions. She didn't blame everybody. She didn't blame the name in Spain, the rain in Spain. She didn't blame nobody. She basically just said, I messed up. I was smoking. I shouldn't have been. It's very much legal in the area that she lives at, but, it wasn't legal for the Olympic trials. She was eliminated. Now, Kanye West and Beats by Dre, a.k.a. Dr. Dre, decided to combine their efforts and create an endorsement deal and commercial featuring Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, Kanye West has his new album coming out, okay? So Kanye West decided to put his new single, okay, No Child Left Behind, on the commercial, along with Sha'Carri wearing a pair of earbuds by Beats by Dre, and you see her running. It's just like a very dope visual and a collaborative effort. And also Kanye West is making his comeback and doing it in a positive way. And when I seen this, I just kept thinking like, wow, what would make Kanye West be so sensitive? But then I'm like, you know what? He lost his mother as well at the height of his career. So I know that he probably feel, the pain that Sha'Carri Richardson, is dealing with in regards to her having the world watching her, and also being judged and ridiculed by the public because she decided to smoke some marijuana, because her mother passed away unexpectedly, So it's just very, very sad, But I'm happy to see that two well-known black men from our community decided to come together and, give this girl a check, still celebrate her, even though she made a downfall. She still beat all those people. And I feel like that's the problem with it, is like when there's a situation where someone like her goes this far and wins in the Olympic trials to go to the Olympics, and this happens where she tests for marijuana and everything else. It basically, the media tried to take away what she did, like it never happened, and it really did happen. And it's just nice to see people from the black community still around this young lady, supporting her. She's 21 years old. A lot of people make dumb mistakes. No matter how fast she runs, she's still, to me, still in a kid mind, and she just lost her mother. So I could feel for her, and I still also see the other half of it, like the rules are the rules. I'm not a person who's living in delusion, sitting there thinking like, oh, well, she smoked weed, she should still play. If that is the case and that's the rules, then so be it. But anyway, the video was dope. The commercial that he put out, he posted it on his, Kanye posted it on his Instagram page. Beats by Dre posted it on their Instagram page, and then Sha'Carri Richardson posted it on her page. And it was just amazing marketing by Kanye West, Dr. Dre, and Sha'Carri Richardson, man. And it's just a way for her to come back and know that she's still supported. And honestly, I really feel like it was divine order for her to be removed from this Olympics, because from what I'm hearing, the Olympics going on this year, 2021, over in Tokyo, is going downhill. It's not going too well. It's a lot, like they said, over 75 people so far, more than that, about 80 people that's competing from America in the Olympics had tested positive for COVID-19. Now, I'm pretty sure a majority of those people had vaccines and everything else done to prevent them from giving or catching this virus. But unfortunately, they still came in contact with it. And when they did their test in Tokyo, they came back positive. It's been a lot of weird stuff going on in the Olympics in Tokyo this summer in these past couple of days, man. And then on top of that, I'm hearing that they didn't want people having sex to prevent the spread of COVID. So they had people sleeping on cardboards and stuff. Like, I mean, I don't think that's the type of thing that Sha'Carri would have wanted, So, I mean, by all means, she's not really taking an L right now. She's really not taking an L. I think it wasn't meant for her to actually take stage right now. I think everything in life happens for a reason, and I don't feel too bad about her not participating, because the circumstances surrounding this year's Olympics is all bad. We still got COVID going on and people are in denial. People think that, well, everybody's vaccinated, so it doesn't matter, this, and this. But it still does matter. Like, we still need to be protecting ourselves. We still need to be looking out, because from what I'm seeing, the numbers from the COVID-19 pandemic, the numbers are going up. And it's still a ton of people in denial that this is going on. But just please be safe out there, you guys. And for the folks that's out there, that is vaccinated, they're saying that you should still wear your mask, because they just found an additional variant of the COVID-19 disease. So it's just like, is anybody really safe? Did the vaccine actually work? What was the point of everybody getting vaccinated if there's now a bigger variant? I don't know if it's protecting everybody, but for what I'm seeing, there's still a lot of people that's coming in and out of the hospital from this whole thing. So it's just a big old mess. But anyway, not trying to stay on that too long, but anyways, Kanye West, let's get back to his album. Kanye West got his new album dropping, Donda, okay? And this is his 10th studio album, and that's what the advertisement what Sha'Carri Richardson and Beats by Dre was for. And he ended up having like a huge listening party concert with 70,000 people. And it was broadcast by Apple, and it was streamed off of Apple Music. And, of course, the numbers did crazy. He broke some records with that. And he said that he was supposed to be dropping this album, Donda, which is like a dedication album to his mother, Miss Donda West, who passed away it's been a long time ago. It's exciting. I heard this first song off of it, and it says No Child Left Behind. And I was like, yo, yeah, this is nice. This is the song that he played on the commercial. That's the song that I'm talking about. If you guys haven't seen the commercial or did see the commercial, that's the song that I'm talking about. And I was feeling it. I was like, oh, wow, Kanye is bringing feeling back into his music. I think I like it. Now, I always felt conflicted in regards to supporting Kanye because of the certain things that he's done, the certain views that he's had. But I'm not going to take away from the fact that he is musically talented, and I did listen to his music back in the day before all this additional controversy that he has basically been thrown into, and he's thrown himself into with all his issues and mental problems and stuff. But I feel like this album is going to be the album for him, and I feel like this is like a comeback for Kanye West. I feel some type of Grammy nominations, even him winning another Grammy. I just feel the success. And on top of that, they're saying that he actually did a collaborative song last minute with Jay-Z as well. So they made another song together, and that's got to be, that's dope. That's dope for the culture. So we're going to look forward to that. But before I even... because this is what Kanye is doing now, right? Everybody's waiting for this man to drop the album. He's saying he's supposed to drop it on Friday. It's Monday. The album still ain't out. But according to everybody else, he's basically like locked himself away in a Mercedes-Benz stadium, and he is trying to finish up the album. Okay, now this is some stuff that only rich people can do, and Kanye is deciding to do this, man. This dude is walking around here. I seen like a clip from his a clip from his listening party in a stadium in Atlanta, and he had a stocking over his head, and he didn't even perform. Like, he had a stocking over his head and was just walking back and forth, and everybody's just like, yay, Kanye, yay, Kanye. It's like, oh, this is pure madness. But anyways, I can't wait to hear the album. From what I heard, I'm a DJ, so I see other DJs that I am associated with saying that they actually heard the album already, and they said the album is fantastic and it's dope. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I am able to listen to it, of course, I'm going to come back on the mic and give my final thoughts and opinions on this new album by Kanye West, man. So along with that, let's move forward, because we're just talking about hip hop and we're talking about music, right? So let's stick to hip hop and music right now. So it looks as if Cassidy basically called out Tory Lanez for stealing his lyrics. Now, Tory Lanez went on a radio show. Was doing a freestyle, and during the freestyle, everybody's like feeling it. He's trending all over Twitter, and then all of a sudden, Cassidy comes out, the rapper, of course. He's the one that sing the song "I'm a Hustler." Well, he used that. He used the sample of Jay-Z, "I'm a Hustler," but he got a lot of stuff. But his song was "I'm a Hustler" and Hotel, and that song features R. Kelly and stuff. But yeah, he basically called him out on his Instagram page, basically asking, why is he over here stealing his lyrics? And he had clips from like 2016, 2017, Tory Lanez basically stealing his lyrics and using it in the freestyle. And then up until this past week when Tory Lanez was on Hot 97 and stole his freestyle again. And he basically was saying that he wasn't feeling it. Now, Tory Lanez went on Twitter, long story short, and he was basically saying that the reason why he decided to rap his lyrics is because Cassidy is his favorite rapper, and everybody knows that that's his favorite rapper or whatever. So that's the reason why this is supposed to happen. But Cassidy actually went back on the internet and basically was putting out a video basically saying that he was kind of, offended, that he wasn't getting properly shouted out, and basically wasn't feeling the response that Tory Lanez was giving back, basically trying to call BS. Now, this leads to me just thinking about like creativity in the music game right now, because not too long ago, T-Pain went on his Twitch and basically did a long speech basically saying that he's tired of artists sending him the same type of music and the same type of shit. And, of course, T-Pain, he's a producer, so I'm pretty sure that he's always dealing with new young talent and stuff like that, or people that want to be signed to record deals or critiquing music. So he decided to come out and basically say he's tired of people basically playing the same damn music, playing the same shit over and over again, and basically saying that we already had the baby and we already have baby, and the baby, and it's like, why do they both got the same name? The baby, like he said, we already got two babies with the same, the same name in it. Like we need something different, you know what I'm saying? And Dr. Dre, going back to Dr. Dre, he actually went on his Instagram page and came out in support of that, and this had me thinking too, because I just feel like today's music artists can be so lazy when it comes to creating music. And I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand why they don't believe in themselves that they can create. And I get tired of artists sampling people's music. I get tired of hearing old music recycled over and over again. It's like, okay, like at first it was kind of cool. Oh yeah, they doing an 80s throwback thing. But it's like everybody does it. And it just loses its value. A long time ago, I would say 30 years ago, because time is going to pass so quick. when you sample somebody's music, for the most part, the creator was involved or the creator approved of it, and people knew that the song belonged to somebody else. These days, these artists out here, they don't really fully acknowledge the fact that they're sampling someone else's material. They just put it out there and just go through, ASCAP, BMI, get the paperwork done and just be like, whatever, they're getting paid. So who cares if the public don't know that this isn't my music, and that's not okay. Like, you can't be running around here just because the person might be getting paid from it. And on the documentation side, it's okay because whoever owns the masters is saying, oh, it's fine. That doesn't mean the person who actually wrote the lyrics is okay with it, and you should definitely fully acknowledge them. And I guess Tory Lanez was saying that he acknowledged him, but for me, it's like, he done did this so much. It's just like, dude, why do you got to keep stealing from him? If you really like Cassidy that bad, I don't know if Cassidy would work with him because this whole Megan Thee Stallion situation that happened last year, and whether he really would interact with a dude like that. But if you really, really like Cassidy, like you say you do, why don't you walk over to him and be like, yo, why don't we do a song together? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we collaborate together? Something like that. That would be more honorable than you going on a radio station and basically stealing, allegedly stealing his lyrics. I'm going to say alleged. Everything, like I said on my podcast, is alleged everybody. You know what I'm saying? If it has to do with someone doing some weird stuff, But yeah, I mean, he allegedly stole his lyrics, and it's like, come on now. Like, and I mean, I could say allegedly, but the proof is in to put it on the videos right there, so y'all could go off of what y'all want to go off, but there's literally the exact same lines when he does the video going back and forth between him and Cassidy. So it's just like, come on now. And it's not flattering, I don't know. Like, of course, I'm not a hip-hop artist or anything like that, but I don't know if I would be happy if somebody took my music and was using my lyrics and stuff like that and not really giving me the credit, saying, oh, this is where I got it from, or, just simple things. Like, it's just simple things that'll make it be known that you're not really trying to steal from the person and bite from them, and then, man, Tory Lanez is all up in the news. I don't know if this is like what is going on, but he's making a big resurgence, of course. And he had a song that he put together, a collaboration he put together with the Baby, and the Baby and him performed on Rolling Loud. Now we're gonna get to talking about the Baby and his homophobic rant that he went on, him talking about people with HIV and AIDS, and it was just some crazy stuff, man. But it was just a lot of stuff that happened, a lot of bizarre things that happened during the Baby's performance at Rolling Loud that got everybody in the streets talking, So pretty much Tory Lanez, okay, Megan Thee Stallion did a performance, okay, and following the performance, the Baby comes out, okay, brings Tory Lanez out after Megan Thee Stallion was on stage, okay, and they start performing their song. Now, a lot of people haven't forgiven Tory Lanez for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. Of course, that case is still pending, so he is innocent until proven guilty. But on the streets is basically deeming him as guilty for the most part. A lot of people are saying that he's guilty of shooting her. Even Megan Thee Stallion alleged that he actually shot this woman out in Hollywood back in, what year was that? Was that 2020 that this happened? Yeah, everything's mushing together. I believe it was 2020 when the pandemic was at its height last year, when he actually allegedly shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. So anyway, he went on stage. He did this little collaboration song with the Baby. From there, somebody in the crowd was not feeling it, and Baby, they took a shoe, okay, and they threw it at the Baby. And the Baby, I can say, okay, his duck skills was like on 10, because he threw I don't even know how the hell he even was able to duck it, because he was kind of like at an angle where you couldn't tell or feel a shoe was going to come up and hit him in the face. But he like was walking towards the stage, kind of turned his back a little bit sideways towards the stage. And then all of a sudden a shoe just comes flying across the damn set, like and he like ducks, like it literally just misses him, like his shoulder. He did like some old shoulder drop shit, and it just like went past him. And I'm sitting there like, damn, like, okay, so that is already on the internet. And then I see one of my Facebook, or no, my Instagram friends, whatever I follow on Instagram, post a clip of the Baby making a rant on his show, talking about some, on his, while he was doing his performance with Rolling Out, talking about some, if you are in here and you don't have HIV, if you don't have AIDS, if you don't have any of those diseases that kills you in 2 weeks, yeah, what did he say? Put your cell phones up or some shit. Then he goes on and says, he says like, oh, if you ain't, wasn't getting your blank sucked or sucked. Okay, I'm going to edit this off of YouTube. Okay, this is the part where I'm probably going to have to cut it off because it's so much. But anyways, he basically saying that if you ain't a gay man, and you ain't get your by a man or something like that, you need to put your cell phones up. And then the DJs yelled out, yeah, y'all be with that funny S. And baby, I'm sitting here like, what in the like, what is this man doing? Like, it's like, and this is the thing that kind of like bothers me. And it's like the level of like professionalism, like the level of some type of integrity. Like, I don't know if that was the right time to say something like that. And logically speaking, I don't feel like it was, kosher. And a lot of people that's probably commenting below, they're going to say, well, everybody ain't with that, this, and everybody ain't with that, which is fine. But why did he choose in the middle of his set, while there's people who I know in the audience are gay fans, who I know in the audience has HIV/AIDS, maybe dying, who, got a lot of other things going on, who decided to take the last bit of their money and invest it into his ass. Why would he feel like it's okay for him to degrade his audience like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people is there? There's a ton of people that was in the audience that probably unfortunately has contracted HIV or AIDS or have some type of disease that will kill them in 2 weeks. You don't know what people are going through, and you may have been their last memory. And this is what they're going to remember in their last days, that they went to go spend their money with you, the baby, and you basically told them that they were a disgrace because they are HIV positive or they're gay. Like, I just don't know, like, where was he going with this? And this is really bad for his image. You know what I mean? For him to say that, I don't know if he have any endorsement deals. I really don't follow the baby like that. I really don't care for his music, so I don't follow him like that. But it's just like, to me, what he did was stupid as hell. If you really trying to, on top of that, you got Tory Lanez with you, who's already has like this bad reputation because of all these allegations coming off of that, and you perform with him, and then you get a shoe thrown at you, and now you over here doing this rant. You know what I mean? It's this hateful rant. So it's just like, just not smart, like just real stupid, real ignorant. It just comes off, and that's one of the reasons why I can't support a lot of these new male rappers. A lot of them are very arrogant. You know what I'm saying? And they really think that people are sweating them and just think that they the shit because you can spit a bar. Like, there's a lot of other people that's out here doing way more and more important things than what they're doing. And they don't have the demeanor, the attitude of these dudes. And I personally wouldn't be sitting here taking my check and my money that I'm making broadcasting and doing whatever and investing into a person like that. I would feel, if I was a fan and I was there and I know that I spent that money and gave that to that man, and then he say these things, because, like, look, people in your audience may not have HIV, right? And I'm pretty sure there's people in there who has HIV. You know what I'm saying? But they may have a family member that may have contracted the disease. They may have been indirectly affected because of a immediate family member, or you don't know what people go through. And also, you are stigmatizing gay people by saying that the only way that you can catch HIV is by you being gay. If you did your statistics and did some studying, a lot of the new cases of HIV being transferred is through heterosexual sex, especially if we're going to talk about the Black community. And just in general, everybody should use protection. Everybody should be careful. Also, HIV is spread through needles. If you are doing drugs, you're doing like heroin, stuff like that, you could spread it through that. So that's just like, it's just sounded so ignorant to me. It was just so like, why, dude? Like, why would you do that? Like, it just, I don't understand. And on top of that, you got Tory Lanez, this alleged woman beater and woman shooter, you know what I'm saying? Like, on the stage with you, which is your right, okay? But it's just, sir, this is why I never ever like really be supporting the rappers out here, because a lot of them, their morals is out the window. And on top of that, I'm not saying that they're supposed to be a role model, because I know a lot of y'all probably be commenting below, they're a rapper, they're not supposed to be a role model. Well, I mean, you're right, and I guess so, but it's just a certain thing that if you're in the public eye and you know everybody in the world of various walks of life, different cultures, different sexualities, orientations, people who have different illnesses and stuff like that is supporting you, why would you upset and offend your core fan base? That doesn't even make any sense. You know how much money, even though he made a bunch of money on rolling out, you know how many people are going to be protesting the baby now? You know how many endorsement deals this man is about to lose because of the stuff that he said? And he doesn't care. Clearly he doesn't care. He's not going to apologize for it because what he said is what he said. Sometimes you just got to believe what a person says from the first time. You know what I mean? But he didn't seem apologetic about anything. He seemed to be making posts on Instagram and just showing highlights from it. But he's all through social media. And maybe he's the type of person, that, feels like all publicity is good publicity. So it doesn't really matter to him because he's making money and that's all that matters. But when you come out and you're making fun of people, because listen, I'm going to say that there's going to be a divide, right? Because we're going to have the side of people who live by the laissez-faire law, like live and let live, right? And then we're going to have people who believe that, gay people are the most terriblest people on the planet and they're the reason why the world is falling apart. And this. It's like a lot of, I would say, illogical, ignorant logic, right? And people are going to say that he's okay. They're okay with him saying that on stage, But really pause for a second, y'all. Can we at least all agree that it was fucked up that he was sitting here making jokes about people with possible HIV/AIDS diagnosis? People are born with that disease sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like people are, some people could, it's so many different ways that you could contract HIV, and outside of having unprotected sex, it's just you stigmatizing these people and making it seem like they're not human beings and don't deserve the same, the same love and dignity as any other human being. You know what I mean? So it's just like that whole situation just bothers me. And, it's like, okay, Tory, okay, the baby, you may not like gay people, you may like this, and this, but this is why we have to be careful who we decide to endorse as folks out here, whether we're gay, straight, whatever. We need to sit and pay attention to the belief systems to some of these people that we're supporting. And that's why it's important not to worship these celebrities, because they're humans just like you, and they're going to say some off-the-wall stuff, especially if they feel like their core fan base isn't that particular fan base. They're going to say some things, and if they can get away with it, they are. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of people from the LGBTQ community protesting the things that he said, and just not supporting him. Me personally, I never supported him, so I don't have anything to stop doing for him, but just continue to do what I've been doing, which is move forward and mind my business and not buy anything that has anything to do with him. Now, whether it's a film, whether it's this, whether it's that, like he has so many other things he should be worried about outside of that. And on top of that, it's like, when you live a promiscuous lifestyle, and most people live a promiscuous lifestyle, it comes off that way in the music industry. People could easily become a target to catching different STDs and things of that nature. And I'm not saying that this is facts about the baby. I'm not going to say that he's out here just sleeping with everybody. I'm not going to say that. However, in the music industry with rappers in general, it's known that a lot of rappers are very promiscuous and they get around, which puts them at a very, very high risk of contracting deadly diseases, and you never know how the words that you say can come back to haunt you. So, I really just hope that he just thinks before he says certain things, because and I'm talking particularly about this whole HIV thing, because I say that, he shouldn't have said the things about gay people. I don't think he should have, but it's still going to be people in the comment section talking about well, everybody don't have to agree with the lifestyle. Everybody don't have to. No. Nobody is sitting here trying to force nothing on you. Nobody is trying to say that. What does him performing have to do with gay men? Like, what does him being on stage performing a song have to do with gay men? And what the hell does him performing on stage have to do with people walking around with HIV? Why did he feel like he needed to apply that to his performance? Like, was he high? Was he drunk? Did he already have that schedule? Like, who was a part of the baby team that was like, oh yeah, now this is the part where you gonna go on this homophobic rant. This is the part where you gonna shame people for having HIV. Like, this is the part, like this is the shit right here. Like, it's like, what? Like, sir, what? Like, I don't know, and I can rant about it all day, but I'm not. I want to hear y'all's opinion on the whole situation. You guys could probably see the audio somewhere on social media and listen to what he said, because it's been trending all on the Shade Room and everywhere else. And listen, my website is in maintenance mode, y'all. I'm going to have that all together, I would say, within the next give me like 2 weeks. Give me about 14 days so I can get this shit together, because I'm going to start uploading all of the news stories again on djjericapod.com. But if you guys haven't already, follow my website, djjericapod.com. You could go on the side tab on the website and get a subscription. Okay. So then you guys could be notified every time I put out some more news and everything else. Just try to support the overall brand. Okay. Now what's next? Okay. So did you guys hear about this whole situation in regards to Jay-Z and Beyonce's home in New Orleans burning down, y'all? So it was a fire allegedly that happened at one of the houses that's owned by the Carters, man. And they're saying that there was some serious damage done in a fire that happened on July 21st, which is about last week, Wednesday. They said that the firefighters came out and they extinguished it around 2 hours later after the firefighters was called to the property. They said they do not know the cause of the blaze. It has not been yet determined. They also stated that no one was actually injured. And no one was required to evacuate. So I don't know if anybody actually lived on the property, but they're saying that the home was purchased by the Carters back in the early 2000s for $2.4 million. And now the net worth for that actual property has gone up and doubled since then to $5 million. They said that they purchased it through their Sugarcane Park LLC, which is actually allegedly owned by Beyonce's mother, Mrs. Lawson. So, Miss Tina Lawson. So, I'm not sure what's that about. I don't know who burned the entire thing down. It's just been a lot going on with the Carters, and particularly with Jay-Z, especially with this whole thing with him and Dame Dash. And Dame Dash basically kind of like winning his right to sell his portion of Rockefeller. And now you got stuff burning down, his house burning down. Yo, it's a lot going on in the Carter family, and it's been all in the media this past summer. So not sure what's going on with that, but hopefully they're able to, get the properties fixed up. I'm not sure if it's like basically non-repairable, but with the Carters, they probably own the land, so I'm pretty sure that they should be able to get that fixed up and get that whole thing resolved over there in regards to that. Now I want to go back to something real quick, because I was talking about like music artists in general and like how people steal other people's music, and I'm going to talk about Normani and Normani. Let me say her name right, Normani. Okay, and her new song that she came out called Wild Side, and it's supposed to feature Cardi B. She had a music video come out for it. And when I first heard the song, I was like, man, she just sampled Aaliyah's One in a Million. Now, I can't say I'm shocked that there's a lot of people sampling Aaliyah. May she rest in peace. It's been over 20 years now. It's going to be 20 years since she's passed at the end of August on the 25th. And actually the 25th anniversary of the release of her final album had just passed as well at the end of July. So, a lot of people are unfortunately, and it's fortunately, but unfortunately, they're using Aaliyah's name to capitalize their brands. And this is something that you would expect, you know what I mean? And that's not what I'm saying I'm accusing Normani doing. I'm just talking about in general that that's what a lot of people are going to do. If they know that a major milestone is coming, they're going to try to get into that wave of a trending topic. So, of course, people are going to sample Aaliyah if they can. People are going to do more videos on Aaliyah, and it's out of love and support. And some people, they want to get in and talk about it or just, sample her material. And Normani just happened to sample it. Now, the sample itself, it sounded dope. I'm not going to say it wasn't a good song. It's a really good song. I support Normani and the work that she does. I think she's a really, really stellar performer. I think that she has something, something special about her. And on top of that, she's a dark-skinned girl doing a damn thing. So I support the work that she does. But the controversy was people were spreading rumors saying that Aaliyah's uncle, Mr. Barry Hankerson, allegedly didn't support the fact that Normani had sampled Aaliyah's song One in a Million for her project. Now, they're saying that, later Mr. Hankerson came out and basically said that he did support her and that was a false allegation and that he was excited to see her perform Aaliyah's material. Now, I'm going to read an excerpt from TMZ about this whole situation, and then we're going to talk further about it, okay? Now, it says, Barry Hankerson, Aaliyah's uncle and manager of her catalog, tells TMZ that his niece always encouraged young women pursuing their music and entertainment careers to achieve their dreams. Mr. Hankerson is the founder of Black Ground Records and says that he owns all Aaliyah's master, and he says it's clear Normani has been inspired by her music. He adds, I believe that Aaliyah would be very supportive of young black women that chose to emulate her music and style. Barry did add that it would have been more honorable if the singer sought out approval to sample it. So he did say that Normani's team didn't reach out to him directly to sample it. But ultimately, he does seem to give his seal of approval. He also stated, allegedly, I will not stand in the way of something that brings light and incredible standing power of Aaliyah. So in the light, wishing Normani well with the song and overall career, God bless, I think Aaliyah would be pleased. Now, along with that, an attorney from Black Round confirmed with TMZ that the Aaliyah sample was never officially cleared for use. However, Normani's team insists that Wildside does not actually use a direct sample. Okay, which is currently up for debate, but we did see a social media post by Timbaland basically vibing to the song and saying that he approved Normani in the way that her team flipped the song and made it her own. So, it's interesting, to see her sample Aaliyah's music right now on the 20th anniversary of Aaliyah. And, it's, man, time goes past so quick because I remember when Aaliyah passed and I was 10 years old at the time. And I remember when her album had dropped because I was a fan of hers. And when she dropped the Red album, her self-titled album, Aaliyah. And I actually had a copy of that album. When you were a kid, you used to get some change from your grandma, whatever. I ended up having a copy of that album. And, the album itself is classic. I had it for a very, very long time after her passing as well. But eventually you move and stuff and then things get lost. And unfortunately, I don't think I have that copy anymore. But it's so sad because can't nobody get to listen to Aaliyah's music because the estate, unfortunately, still has her music on lockdown. And I don't know if we're ever going to be able to hear her music. We really just don't know. But hopefully, since it's the 20th anniversary, since the plane crash that took the late, great Aaliyah is coming, I hope that we're able to get her music out. We don't have to go to places like YouTube to listen to it and stuff like that because, us fans out there, we're growing up and we really want to hear some Aaliyah music. We're still relatively young. Aaliyah's fan base was, of course, older, but also youngins, teenagers, people like myself who was 10 years old when she passed. I've been listening to her for as long as I can remember. And we actually got to experience Aaliyah when she was here and the talent that she was. So it would just be so nice to be able to download her music on streaming platforms to, continue on her legacy. And of course, no disrespect to her family, whatever they choose to do with her music, that is what they choose to do. I'm not saying that they should do it or not, but I'm just saying as a fan, it would be so cool to be able to just download her music and listen to it. Since it is about to be the 20th anniversary since she passed, and back to my Aaliyah story, man. Since this is almost 20 years since she passed, I was just sitting there just thinking about what happened the day that she passed and how I found out. And I remember being in the house and my sister coming downstairs and telling me that she had passed, and I didn't believe her. And I was like watching I think I was watching like Maury or something, and she was like, "Yo, Aaliyah done died in a plane crash," and I said, "Get out of here!" Because I thought she was playing, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, "No, seriously, turn to the news." So then I had changed the channel, and I seen her picture flash across the screen, and I was just like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Because literally a few days ago, I just seen her on 106 in Park because we were faithful watchers of 106 in Park. And I remember her doing the last interview, before the crash. And I swear to you, they say it was a couple of days between that. But I guess when you're a kid, everything just sometimes meshed together because I kid you not, it felt like I had just watched her do her interview with the people at 106 Park. And then literally it felt like literally the next day they were like, she had passed. I'm like, what the hell, man? And it was just completely sad, just in disbelief, seeing it all over the news, and then you seeing people playing her music, and then to find out she was 22 years old and I was 10 at the time. And you don't notice how young a person is when they pass on until you reach the age in which they passed on. And it hit me like, damn, like now that I'm older, I'm about to be 30, my birthday is coming, just seeing like, and I still feel youthful, I still feel young. So it's just even more heartbreaking 20 years later, knowing that her life was taken from her so young. And the fact that she accomplished what she accomplished for her age over the course of her 7 to 8 year career, just phenomenal. Something that most people can't even fathom to do in a lifetime. In a smaller, in a much larger lifetime, she accomplished that within about 7 years in the industry on a mainstream level. So, yeah, it's so many things that you just experience, and it let me know, like, man, I'm getting older, like, for real. It's a blessing to get older, but it's so many things that I've seen, and there's so many performers who have passed on that I was able to see them in their prime, and I'm blessed to live in the era that I'm living and be from the era that I'm from. But, yeah, I mean, after everybody said that she had passed on, it was a lot of Leah marathons and stuff like that, and, man, I remember when they end up premiering her Rock the Boat music video like a year later, or was it not a year? Like I said, it was all mush, but it was all within like that same year. They had ended up getting her other 2 singles and stuff like that. And, they had an actual access granted on BET or showing the final footage of her and the stuff that her and her team was doing before they crashed. And it was just so eerie. And, I love that song, Rock the Boat. I do, but as like a listener, when I was younger, I just felt some type of way, like listening to it, knowing that was the song that like took Aaliyah away from everybody. You know what I mean? So it's just, I just hope that her legacy still continues. I mean, clearly we still have a lot of millennials that knows her music because people like myself and people that's older than me who's had kids and stuff like that are passing down her legacy. But I feel like you can't get the full experience until you actually hear her entire catalog and not just her radio stuff, because her radio stuff is amazing. Don't get it twisted. But I feel like they need to hear more. They need to hear her entire music catalog. And I just hope that eventually, the family will be willing to get her music out there. I'm not sure exactly why. I mean, it may be just around the circumstances in which she passed. She did pass working, so maybe that is a sore thing for the family. And like, I'm going to always be sensitive to that. I'm not going to sit here and be trying to bash them, but hopefully, eventually, we can get that music out and be able to really celebrate Aaliyah and really listen more to her material, because she definitely deserved it. And she worked so hard to accomplish the things that she accomplished in her 22 years, And let's go on to the next thing. Issa Rae is married, y'all. Yes, Issa Rae, she's the girl, she out here producing shows, just be spewing out black girl magic all day, every day. She just unveiled, of course, for most of you guys who don't know who Issa Rae is, she's, of course, a producer and actor, and she's well known for her show Insecure, which is in its final season right now. She got married to her new husband today, it looks as if. She said she had a ceremony in the south of France, and she posted her Instagram page announcing that she's married now to a man named Louis Diem. Not exactly sure. He's not, I don't think he's a celebrity. Maybe he's a producer behind the scenes. I never heard of him, but congratulations to her. She looks so pretty in her gowns. And Issa Rae has always had like great skin to me. I love her skin tone and her glow and her personality. She just is a hard worker and made an honest living. Like, I remember when she had Awkward Black Girl back in the day, when I was in college, I used to sit and watch that show. And, to see her glow up the way that she has is just amazing. It's phenomenal. I'm very happy for her. And I'm glad that she found, love and everything else. It just seemed like her life is just really coming together. So, who knows? Maybe she'll be doing a pregnancy announcement next. It's the perfect time seeing that Insecure is, wrapping up his final season. So I'm looking forward to what's next for Issa Rae. And I think she already had signed a deal as well, a distribution deal a couple of months ago. So she got money coming in. She got a lot, and she's not stopping no time soon. So big up to Issa Rae, and congratulations on your marriage. Yeah, man. Let's celebrate some love. Let's celebrate some black love up in here. We always have the negativity that be going on with the relationships and scandals in our community. Let's celebrate black love for a second. If you are black and in love, comment below and say I'm black and I'm in love. And we're talking about everybody, okay? Comment below. Shoot. All right. If you are in love in general, not just black, but if you in love in general, found the love of your life, comment below and show some love, okay? So it looks like Charlamagne the God will be getting his own TV show, is being reported. And it's supposed to be a nighttime talk show with Stephen Colbert. Yeah, it says that Charlamagne the God is bringing the holy trinity of comedy, culture, and social consciousness to Comedy Central with a new talk show, The God Honest Truth. The weekly broadcast executive produced by Stephen Colbert. So Stephen Colbert is a producer. It is set to premiere this fall on September 17th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Filming will take place in New York City. It's the show I've always wanted to do, says Charlamagne, who's 43 years old, while announcing the forthcoming project of his syndicated radio show, The Breakfast Club, on Thursday. Okay. The God Honest Truth will revolve around Charlamagne, whose real name is Leonard McKelvin, and his cultural fluent take on social issues per variety. The whole hour program will also feature sketches, interviews, and social experiments. So yeah, he made the announcement. He'll be going on and doing his thing. He's going to be on TV just like Wendy Williams. And it's funny because he started off with Wendy Williams, and Wendy Williams got her own talk show that's on over 10 years now. And now Charlamagne is being able to be in the television spotlight. Hopefully, we just going to see how that turned out, because there's been a lot of stuff going on with Charlamagne, with people attacking him because of different scandals and things of that nature. And we just gonna see how that plays out. But he ended up getting his deal, because he was about to get one deal, and then all that stuff came out about him allegedly having that case back in the day with this young lady and everything else. And now he's getting his own show. I guess everything is smoothed out with that. We're going to see. And let me know if you guys will be tuning in. Will you guys be supporting his show? If so, why or why not? Y'all comment below on that. Also, it's just been unveiled that LeBron James is worth $1 billion. He's the first active NBA player to earn $1 billion in his career. So does that mean that he is a billionaire now? Or is it based off a network? Is LeBron James' network now $1 billion? Now, this is coming in after the money. People's counting the money. Yeah. All right. Opening from the Space Jam new legacy movie. They said that he's made $31 million in the box office from that film. Okay. And this basically boosted him up to be the first NBA player while active in the NBA to make $1 billion in earnings. And they're basically breaking down his network is coming from about $330 million from him playing sports. Along with that, he has earned $700 million off-court endorsement deals from like Nike, AT&T, Beats Electronics, Blaze Pizza, GMC, and Walmart, and just to name a few. All right. And he's garnished over $100 million every year since basically the start of his career. So the man is paid. Okay. People were comparing him to Michael Jordan once again when it comes to his wallet. However, Michael Jordan, he's currently worth $2 billion, Michael Jordan. But he made most of his money, they're saying, after his NBA career. So now they're saying that LeBron James has actually made history as being the first billionaire active NBA player. So that's something, that's what's up, I'm not going to knock the man. Congratulations on that. Do your thing and make it happen, man. Because sometimes, when you are in the NBA, a lot of the times these NBA players, their careers, they don't last long. They really don't last long. A lot of stuff happens, and they mismanage their money and everything else. And I had heard a story, allegedly, I don't know if it's true or not, that LeBron James decided to keep a childhood friend as his sports agent, and people were saying it was a bad idea. But now this man's worth $1 billion, and this agent. This is something I've seen on the internet. I don't know if this is true or not, but this is something I've seen pop down the internet timeline. But now they're saying that the agent that he hired, which is also a black man, is one of the top, if not the top agents in the sports world. And I mean, for him to make his sports client, make up to $1 billion, I know that man, if this is true, that man's phone is ringing off the hook. You know what I mean? Do the damn thing. Okay. Do the damn thing. Get your money. Okay. That's the only thing I could, that's when you an adult, the most thing you can do in life is try to go down your checklist, accomplish your goals, leave a big legacy and enough money for your future generations and the future generation of your DNA to come, to make sure that they're going to be good whenever your time comes. So big up to LeBron James. And also, LeBron James also has his own production company too. So that's a lot of money that it comes from as well. That's what they said too. Now let's get back to R. Kelly. R. Kelly, man. Okay, so they're saying there's new allegations coming out in regards to R. Kelly in this upcoming federal case of child pornography, human trafficking, all this other stuff, allegedly. Just a lot of stuff, okay? And they're basically saying that there has been 2 young men who stepped forward, who was teenage boys back in 2006, making allegations that the R&B singer allegedly sexually assaulted them in the name of them having a career. Okay, now this is a long, lengthy court filing that was made by prosecutors, and they basically asked the judge for permission to admit that as additional evidence for these sickening allegations in which R. Kelly has not been charged, okay, at his upcoming sex trafficking trial in Brooklyn. Now, the sex trafficking trial is supposed to be happening in August, so that's what they're saying. In this fall, we're going to figure out, I don't know if he has other cases pending, because this is supposed to be going on in New York, so I don't know if he's got cases pending in Chicago as well, kind of like Harvey Weinstein has, basically like how Harvey Weinstein had got convicted in one state, and now he's over in California and dealing with all that stuff. But allegedly, according to these young boys, it says back in 2006, Kelly sexually assaulted a 17-year-old boy named only by John Doe 1, okay? So that's just them protecting his identity, okay? After meeting him at a McDonald's in Chicago and asking what would he be willing to do to succeed in the music business. According to the documentations, also the boy introduced Kelly to a close friend who was also underage, about 16, 17 years old, and he was also a male. And several years later, Kelly allegedly started an alleged sexual relationship with the person, John Doe 2, and also forced several of his girlfriends at the time to allegedly have sex with the young man while he filmed it. Now, the documentations also described how the crisis manager for Kelly allegedly bribed Cook County, Illinois clerk for $2,500 to get inside information on the singer's legal troubles after the Lifetime documentation Surviving R. Kelly, which came out in 2019. Okay. Prosecutors also want to introduce evidence that Kelly, whose real name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, allegedly sexually abused the late singer Aaliyah Houghton. Okay. In which he married her in 1994 when she was only 15 years old. So that she could not be forced to testify against him, allegedly. And of course, the late great Aaliyah passed away in 2001 because of a plane crash. But there is a slew of additional allegations, okay, which is including unlawful imprisonment, hush money payments, threats, psychological abuse. Prosecutors said the woman named Jane Doe 5, who is expected to testify, alleged that Kelly directed her to search the internet and find child pornography involving boys for him. A search authorized on R. Kelly's computer corroborates these claims according to court documents. Prosecutors are also says they also want to play for the jury 2 audio recordings allegedly showing Kelly physically and psychologically abusing women, proving his regular use of audio and video recordings are his main control. Also, they're also saying R. Kelly is accused of leading an entourage of his employees who recruited women and girls to have sex with him while he was on tour throughout the globe during his years as an R&B star. Along with that, also, he was arrested by the NYPD and federal authorities in Chicago in the summer of 2019 and transferred to New York in late June. He faces 2 sets of federal charges in New York and Chicago. Kelly briefly appeared in court in Brooklyn earlier this month for a hearing where he was seen in a mask and untucked shirt before a judge. Judge Ann Donnelly set Kelly's trial to August 18th. So this trial is going to be going on August 18th. So he could review materials with the defense team, which he retained in June. Okay. R. Kelly has remained behind bars in a Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn after the judge denied the attorney's request for bail. R. Kelly does maintain his innocence in the middle of this. Okay. Now the news with the young boys allegedly being involved with him is something that is new that they're adding on to here. But this is something that was mentioned on a few documentaries like Surviving R. Kelly and things of that nature. But the whole thing is just sickening. With the whole R. Kelly situation, I feel like he's going to get fully convicted. And, you know, it's just sick and disturbing. And I wonder if the people that's been supporting him through all this now having a change of heart once they realize that there were boys that's also being harmed allegedly by the singer R. Kelly. Now, for a lot of people, you know, I've seen women, and particularly black women, still supporting him, even though he allegedly was doing these things with these women, okay, with actual evidence. And I feel like a lot of time people confuse R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, and they try to mix them together. And I'm going to tell y'all the difference between R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. And let's just talk about this, okay? There was no real physical evidence against Bill Cosby, okay? It was all hearsay, okay? Along with that, Bill Cosby had the defense team make a deal with the DA, which made it so he couldn't be convicted based off of these verbal allegations, okay? And eventually the other DA left, and then they convicted him of these crimes and basically processed an illegal case, basically. And that's the reason why Bill Cosby is out. Now, I'm not saying that Bill Cosby is innocent, okay? I'm not saying that. You know, but allegedly, okay, that's what they're saying is the reason why Bill Cosby got released. And, you know, the difference is a lot of the things that people were saying about Bill Cosby was from over 40 years ago, and there was no physical evidence. Now, with R. Kelly, the difference with his case is evidence all over the damn place. And we're talking about evidence that came forth while the drama was going down. Now, I am about to be 30. So, of course, I was alive during the 90s. I have some conscious of the 90s. And I learned about the whole thing in regards to R. Kelly and Aaliyah. And further was able to understand and process it when I was maybe, you know, in the early 2000s and stuff like that, when his sex tape dropped. And when Aaliyah and him got married, and this is, you know, this is the story that's been out in the media for damn near 3 decades, 3 decades now. Basically, he had allegedly had his friend or business partner, guy, whatever, forge their marriage certificate and Aaliyah's birth certificate information to make it seem as if she was 18 years old when she was actually like 15 at the time. And this came out in 1995. The marriage certificate said it happened back in 1994. So it came out in 1995. So this is very, very recent. This wasn't a thing that happened where, okay, well, there's people coming out saying, oh, he did this to me 30 years later. No, this is supposed to have happened in 1994. People was talking about it in 1995. Like, all of this was happening. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the whole sex tape situation that happened in 2002, of him allegedly having sexual intercourse with a teenage girl. This went to trial within basically the same couple of years that the sex tape was discovered. And this is like on top of, you know what I mean? And he still got released. And I believe it was because I think the girl or the parent, someone didn't want to testify against him. Whatever it was, They decided to silence themselves and they did not convict him. But now we have even more things going on from the past 2 years of women basically saying that they were held captive allegedly by R. Kelly and his team and just a ton of different things. And on top of that, R. Kelly was recording a lot of that stuff that was going down. And I just feel like he's going to be going to jail for a long time, if not for the rest of his life. So, I am not going to play his music. I haven't been playing his music since this whole thing came out. But I feel like for the people that's out there that feel like, oh, yeah, it ain't no harm in playing his music. I still like his music. I can separate the man from the music, but his bank account is still the same. So every time you guys play his music, understand that you are supporting an alleged pedophile, supporting an alleged sexual predator, supporting someone who is okay with human trafficking children. And that goes for boys and girls, because I feel like, especially in the black community, when things happen to black girls, it doesn't matter. It isn't until there's some type of homosexual activities or rapes going on allegedly with black men and males, that's when it becomes a big problem. And I feel like that's going to be the thing that's going to tick this thing over and make everybody go against R. Kelly, because it just seems as if black women don't really matter in our community. And that's just the reality of the situation. We've been having all these things happening. Everybody's just saying these females are fast tails. They're this, they're that. All these different things, they're trying to blame it on them, okay, or their parents and stuff like that. But now that I know, and I've read this article making these allegations that he also was dealing with little boys as well, I want to see how many black men are going to come out and say something now. And if they do, they should be ashamed of themselves and be embarrassed, and including black women as well. If you guys want to come out and now you want to shame R. Kelly because there was boys that was harassed, because of the whole situation regarding it, he was wrong on both ends. No child should be subjected to this type of disgusting behavior, but it should have been a thing where we should have been protecting everybody from the get-go, no matter what their sex is. There should be no excuse for somebody like him to be able to just do this just because he could sing and carry a note and write some songs. It's absolutely disgusting, okay? And for people who are actually loving parents and care about the well-being of their children, why would you actually want to support him? Why would you want to support him? To me, it doesn't even make any sense, because you guys are literally helping to pay for this alleged man who's allegedly a pedophile's commissary every month and paying for his bills. Like, come on, but we ain't ready for that type of conversation. We ain't ready for that talk, we sit here and be sitting here, talking about these celebrities and, trying to find excuses when they're doing some sick, twisted stuff, and it's okay when it's black females being attacked, but then when it goes to the part where he may have been dealing with boys and there's some same-sex stuff, now all of a sudden people are going to come out and say that. Well, why wasn't it okay for him? Why was it okay for him to harass and sexually assault the females? Like, he shouldn't be doing this to anybody. Like, it should be the same treatment for everybody, but yeah, that's just my personal take on it. It's just, it makes me sick. I want you guys to comment below about the whole situation and what you guys heard. If you guys are from Chicago and know any other things, you guys have opinions on it, feel free to comment below and tell me what your thoughts are as well. But yeah, y'all, outside of that, I think I went through all of the crazy news that I really wanted to talk about for the most part, with these celebrities and all the other stuff that they got going on. Oh yeah, here go another one. This is another stupid one. Fans are basically accusing Roddy Ricch of wearing fake jewelry, okay? At Rolling Loud, and they're basically trying to say, like, a whole bunch of fans was basically going on social media saying his jewelry was fake. Now, if it is fake, so what? Who cares? Actually, he's pretty smart if he's walking around a bunch of people wearing fake jewelry in the middle of Rolling Loud, like, because it's been a ton of rappers being robbed and killed for their jewelry. So I feel like it's smart for Roddy Ricch to walk around with fake jewelry. We need to embrace fake jewelry even more, because there's a ton of rappers out here wearing chains and stuff like that that's worth millions of dollars in the middle of a pandemic where people are financially desperate and can't do anything, can't make any money off of the work that can't do anything, can't make any money. Their careers and stuff has plummeted. Their jobs no longer exist. And you're walking around with $500,000 chains and shit like that. That's just not smart. It's just not smart. And if he is wearing a fake chain, good to him. He's smart. He's smart with his finances. He understands that it's not all about material. And it's all material, whether it's fake, real, whatever. But at least if someone did try to come up with him and rob him and they take it, they're not gonna get no real jewelry. Baby, you ain't about to be throwing away $1 million off of my neck when you try to rob me, baby. You gonna get this $9.99 necklace, okay? $9.99 necklace, baby. You gonna run home and try to pawn it, and you're going to find out it is all plastic, all fake, Like, do we really blame this man? Like, come on now. That's just smart to me. People trying to go on social media and go and talk about, oh, he wearing fake shit and shit, fake necklace. Like, why should be a fan? We know he got money. We already know he got money. He probably got more money now because he ain't spending his money on stupid shit like expensive jewelry in a pandemic. Like, come on, y'all. And he on top of that, he just bagged some money performing on Rolling Out. So, yeah, I mean, these generation of people, man, y'all be worried about the wrong stuff. That's just me personally. But anyway, I just want to say thank y'all for supporting my podcast. Thank you to all of my new subscribers that's on YouTube. Thank you for everybody that has been growing this page. I've been getting a lot of new subs, so I'm very excited about my channel. Slow and steady wins the race. It takes a lot of time to really get something like this together, to really be able to get my sound out and my voice out to people and really have y'all support. It really means the world. And another thing I want to talk about is more of a serious situation that's going on in the world. And I just felt like it was so weird. I noticed that that there's barely any supplies in the grocery stores and stuff, right? And I had this weird experience. Like, so I was out and I went to a store that shall remain nameless. And I go to the register, and I realize, like, the past couple of weeks, I've been going to this particular store, right? Because that's where I go to the same store. I shop. Like, most people, we go to the same places we shop, right? So I go there, and I'm, like, looking for certain items. And I'm seeing the shelves, the cupboards are bare up in that bitch. I'm like, yo, what is going on with that? So I looked at week pass, so-and-so. I go in there to get another item. And I walk up to them, and this is like is essential. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get to the point. It's feminine hygiene, okay? They didn't have pads or tampons. And I walked over to the man and said, sir, what happened to all the pads and tampons? Are y'all getting shut down? I'm noticing that there's like nothing in the store. And he's like, the manufacturers, they don't work. And I'm like, what? And he's like, they don't work no more. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the manufacturers, they're just choosing not to work. Now I'm trying to understand, like, is everybody on unemployment? What is going on? But this is my heat, and I'm telling y'all to take heed because I want y'all to take something from my podcast outside of this celebrity crap because we got real stuff going on as human beings, okay? And my message to you guys is to stack the fuck up and get all your supplies, get your tissue, get your pads, get all this, because I honestly feel like there's some serious shit that's about to hit the fan. And I don't know when, what, why, but I feel like this whole pandemic thing is just at its very minimum. And we're going to go into some lockdown. Something is happening because when you get to a point when a manufacturer that's sending the products to the store decides to quit, we're in deep shit, y'all. It's time for us to start learning about other resources or ways to protect ourselves because at this point, that just threw me. And I was like, baby, what? What in the F, okay? To not have something that major. And it's been things where I've noticed that it's not just that store. It's been other stores where there's low supplies. And I know that a lot of the stuff that we get it from like China and stuff like that. I really don't know that many manufacturers that's here in the United States. Something has to change. Something has to change like now because we are in some deep shit. And along with that, listen, I get it. Everybody deserves to have a break from work as working people in general in America. And, everybody deserves some time off if they need it and have some type of financial stability from the government to do so, especially in this pandemic. However, at this point, I need people to start going back to work or something if they can. Like, if you can work, please work. You know what I'm saying? Because we need y'all. We need y'all. How are we going to be able to go grocery shopping if there's no manufacturers? Everybody damn quit unless everything is literally from China. And if that's the case, it's time for y'all to, like, the government to really, like, start bringing shit back to the United States so we can have supplies for ourselves, okay? Because this ain't a good look. It should be never a moment where women don't have the necessities such as pads and tampons around here, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And believe y'all, I'm over here stacking up as we speak. But I just wanted to say something about that and just talk about all of the flooding and stuff that's happening, y'all. They were saying that there was like some serious floods going on overseas in Germany and all types of stuff. And one day I was sitting out, and I was in the house and these storms that was coming, and it was like God was screaming, like, you know what I'm saying? It felt like, doomsday around this bitch, okay? It's midday at 3 o'clock. It's dark outside. Like, what is and the rain is just pouring down, y'all. Y'all, this is the time y'all need to stock up. We only got like 6 more weeks of summer. this summer went past quick. I don't even feel like it's the summertime right now. Like, honestly, after my birthday passed, it's really gonna be like, okay, time for fall. Like, that's really how it feels, you know. But y'all, I'm just telling y'all this as a warning and a message. Like, if you see or notice that the places or your local stores and stuff like that are not having supplies and stuff like that, it's because it's some manufacturing stuff going on and people are not working, and either people are choosing to be unemployed or people have been laid off. And baby, when we don't have people to make supplies such as food or for us to have our general regular hygienic products, you know, it becomes a problem. And, you know, I just wanted to say that I noticed that and I'm concerned about that because I don't know, man. I don't know what could be next. And this is the thing where we have to start learning how to survive and learn how to grow our own food, start learning how to do and make even our own products to survive off of, because we can't always depend on our government. We can't always depend on them to do everything for us. And I feel like America is so dumb on that compared to other countries that we weren't taught the basic tools of how to grow things, how to maintain and stuff like that. Well, we were, but it has faded away because we became so spoiled as a public that now at this point, it's just like, now we're literally relying on stores to supply us. And we should be able to learn how to supply ourselves because, you know, we really live in like, it's feel like the Hunger Games, you know, it's every man for themselves out here, man. So, man, I just had to say something to y'all about that because I noticed that, and I want to know if I'm tripping or not. Y'all can comment below whether I'm tripping or what it is, but I noticed that it was a lot of stores that didn't have the bare essentials for survival in their stores. And after I heard that clerks tell me that basically everybody done quit, I'm concerned and worried. But y'all tell me what y'all think about that. I'm about to hop off of here. Make sure you guys, if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, notification bell. If you made it to the end of this podcast, it's because you like this podcast and you like hearing my voice and you like what I'm spitting and what I'm saying, and you know I spit the real every day. And on top of that, outside of just the podcast on this YouTube channel, I'm talking about people on YouTube, I do random videos about certain topics when I feel like spitting and saying things that's on my mind. So make sure you guys check that out and also hit that sub button. And people on Spotify, man, I'm trying to get these Spotify numbers up. So make sure you guys share this with everybody that's on that app as well. Wherever you can share this podcast, please do so. And another thing, it looks as if Pop Smoke's album Faith, before I get off of here, Faith hit #1. It debuted at #1 in the Billboard album charts. And you know what? It's just sad to me because this man can't really enjoy his success. And it's just annoying seeing like hip hop talents, you know, not being able to really enjoy their success. And it feels like the record companies out here really just capitalize off of these people's deaths. And I'm tired of seeing hip-hop artists being successful after they're dead and reaching #1 after they're dead, and these record labels benefiting from hip-hop artists going to jail and stuff like that, y'all. It's just bothering me, you know? It's like, you know, what does the #1 really mean for Pop Smoke? This man can't see it. He's not here anymore. It's sad, y'all. And, you know, this is a totally different subject. I said I was about to get off, but I wanted to I just seen this pop down my timeline, and it kind of just triggered me. It had me thinking about stuff because it's just like, y'all, you know, life is short. And it's so sad, you know, for the most part, to see so many young people, whether they're hip hop artists or not, that's being killed or gunned down because of jealousy in their own neighborhoods, because of jealousy of the people that's around them, because of love triangles, because of all of this shit. And it's so sad because people on this planet really gravitate towards these things like chains and cars and clothes and all these different things, and you can really never take any of this stuff with you. And it's unfortunate that Pop Smoke got robbed the way that he did because these materialistic bums decided to steal from him and kill him for no real reason. Like, there was no reason for this young man to not be able to see his dreams. And it's just sad to see that he hit #1, because what does it mean? You know, it may be nice for Pop Smoke's camp and his family, but really, they really want their son back. They really want their brother back. You know what I mean? That's more of a number one than somebody getting a number one on a Billboard chart. Like it's just so, and it's like these record labels, they just capitalizing off of these singers and these not just singers, but I'm gonna say just get straight to the point, off of these rappers and hip hop artists' death. And I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing these record labels benefiting off of these rappers' deaths out here. We losing a lot of people, whether it's old school and new school hip hop artists, and they are just banking in and cashing the F out on these people. And it's just sad, y'all. It's sad, you know. And I know there's no disrespect towards, of course, his family or anything like that. I know that they are going to try to continue his legacy because this young man went after his goals, and he's very talented, and his music should still be out, even with him not being here posthumously. But it's just me talking about record labels and how the music business work and how shiesty it is. It's like y'all put in so much effort to promote and put out music from an artist after they're dead. Why don't y'all have that same effort and energy to protect them while they're alive? Why is there not a real solid security team to make sure these people are protected? Why is there not health care for these people so they can stay alive and make sure that they're being taken care of after their album is done with the label? Why is that? And why is it that y'all always, you know, go hard and go in and trying to share and support and promote when an artist is dead? Why? Because death sells better than people living. And that is sickening to see. It's sickening to see it. And I've seen it come down my timeline, and I just wanted to say that because it bothers me. Like, people like, oh yeah, he number one. Okay, but he's in a casket. He's in the ground. He can't enjoy this. He's gone. His spirit is gone. He can't enjoy this anymore. This is a bunch of earthly shit. You know, you can't take none of these numbers with you. You can't take none of this stuff off the internet with you. You can't take any of this shit with you. Everything we got, we rented. You know, motherfuckers be like, I own this house. You don't really own this house. You rent that shit. When you leave, it's still gonna be there. You just not gonna be there. You feel me? It's all fake. You know? It just bothers me. I don't know if I'm tripping. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I just feel like these record labels really, these days, even more so, really be benefiting off of hip-hop artists' deaths. And it's like, I could go down an entire damn near encyclopedia of dead rappers who've been shot and killed, and the record labels are just benefiting from it and just putting out posthumous album here, posthumous album there, this, and this. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, could y'all, and I know it's not just the artist benefiting from the family. I know the record label is benefiting from this. You know what I mean? So it just kind of bothers me. It kind of bothers me. And it's like, I know that the family still deserves to eat. Their family, they were working hard to provide for their family, so their family does deserve to eat. But it's just, I don't know, it's just something eerie, and it be making me feel like some of these hip-hop artists be getting set up, like, for real, because it's just so weird. It's so weird to me that every time a hip-hop artist is hitting and doing it, all of a sudden they just dropping dead, and these kids, they ain't even making it out of their 20s, man. It's sickening, yo, and everybody be so happy and so proud to boast about a dead rapper going number one. Why can't he be alive and go number one? Why is we celebrating these people once they're dead? Why is there not protection around these hip-hop artists? And I know sometimes, you know, people will say it's because of their lifestyle, the gang lifestyle, this, and this. But for the most part, when people are signed to record labels like a Pop Smoke or any of these other artists that's actually signed to a record label, not talking about people that's not signed to labels and stuff like that, but when you making big money like that, why is there not a record label making sure that there is a security team to make sure this person is safe, knowing that they have a target on their back? These hip artists have targets on their back, and there's literally nothing being done. And then all of a sudden you get a call, or you go on the shade room, or you whatever, and you're seeing that this person got their head blown off. They're gonna got killed. Somebody done robbed them. So you know what I mean? And the record label is just, oh, we're so sad about their passing, but we got a new product for you. And it's like, I can't buy this shit. Like, I want to support the family, but I'd rather sit there and send some money to a GoFundMe, because I really don't want to pay these people who capitalize, these people to, you know, what it comes off to, and I'm going to say just in general, to capitalize off of a music artist's death, you know? Like, it comes off that way. And I'm going to say allegedly over and over again. I'm not saying that that's facts, but it just looks that way. And it's just sad that the most marketing and most marketable tool out there for a hip-hop artist is jail and death, jail and murder. Like, it's just like, can they smell the roses while they're alive? Literally. Like, can they get their just due? I just went on this rant because it was just I just feel it in my spirit. And sometimes when I'm on this podcast, I might be like on some, yo, we about to wrap up the show, but then I might just feel something and be like, you know what, let me get this off my chest too, because I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing so many young people dying and being killed, whether they're men, whether they're women. We've had female artists that's been murdered in this industry this past year as well. Hip hop artists being killed and shot. People drug overdosing. Like the stuff that they be feeding these kids out here is completely toxic. Back in the day when Tupac and Biggie got killed, it was nothing to celebrate. It was sad. People were mourning. People were upset. Nowadays, it's like when people get killed, it's like a celebration. They're like, hey, yeah, another post-Amish motherfucker. Like, come on, y'all. Like, this is nothing to celebrate, man. This is nothing to celebrate. If anything, we need to start, and these hip-hop artists out here, they need to start, really discussing these contracts with these labels to make sure that they're safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have seen some other stuff about another hip hop artist and his girlfriend and people breaking into the house and trying to shoot him and stuff like that. That has to be horrifying to live that life. It has to be horrifying to know just because you want to talk on a microphone and get some lyrics and some poetry out on a microphone over a beat, you got to watch your back to make sure you don't get shot down for it. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, it's just, it's absolutely ridiculous. And that's just me. That's just me. That's just how I feel. I don't know how everybody else feels about when they see stuff like this. But I feel like we've become so numb to death and killings and stuff like that up until this point, whether it's a racial killing or whether it's a gang-related killing. We became so desensitized to these things that we just feel like it's normal, and we've normalized these things. And I don't feel like we should normalize these things, man. We should not normalize this type of behavior. It's sad, yo. And it's sad that Pop Smoke, he would still be in his 20s, man. And he can't even enjoy the success and the work and the labor. And he changed his life, he turned his life around, and he can't enjoy that. That's sad. And that's for everybody. It just happened to be Pop Smoke come down the timeline when I was scrolling through this media page, and I seen this, and I'm just like, wow. Because I could have just said, yeah, Pop Smoke album went #1. Yeah, that's dope. But that would be ignorant of me. For y'all to be listeners, for me to be ignorant enough and be like celebrating something, knowing that this young man had to lose his life in order for him to be able to do that. It's not good, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's not good. It's sad. But y'all tell me what y'all think. I hate to end it on that note, but sometimes it just get real and you feel it. And you just talk and you say what you want to say. And that's just what it is. It's just the reality of what it is, okay? Man, y'all, it's crazy, man. One more thing, because I want to end on a happy note. I don't want to end it on a dark mood. I want to make somebody laugh before I get off of here. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Kevin Hart put Nick Cannon's phone number on a billboard, on a few billboards actually. And now a ton of fans keep calling Nick Cannon's phone. I'm pretty sure he probably switched his number by now, but it was going all through social media, and Nick Cannon was posting about it. And he actually was calling people on FaceTime and talking to people and calling people back who called his phone number, but his phone was ringing off the hook, y'all. And it's hilarious, yo. They've been going at it with these joke wars, these prank wars, I guess, between him and Kevin Hart. First, Nick Cannon started it, okay? He dropped a llama off at Kevin Hart's house on his birthday, and the llama was taller than Kevin Hart, okay? That was funny, okay? And he was basically trying to say that, since Nick Cannon's having all these kids, that's a different story, okay? We can get into that, but not right now. Having all these different kids and stuff, that Kevin needs to have another kid too, and he brought the llama to his house, and Kevin was just like, dude, is this a joke? Like, now I'm pretty sure that it was the Wire Life people that was there, because I seen 2 other people that was there, so I'm pretty sure he took the llama back, but I guess Kevin Hart was like, I ain't forgetting about this. Let me get you back. And he got Nick Cannon back in the worst way by putting his phone number on a billboard. And Nick Cannon was a good sport about it. He made a joke about it and was calling fans. But I thought that was funny. I don't know if y'all heard about that, but that was a funny little joke right there. The prank word stuff be so funny. But anyway, outside of that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the like button and notification bell. I want to thank you guys for tuning into my podcast and supporting the DJ Jericho podcast. And I guess that is it. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Much love. Peace.